going on, everybody? Nelson from Hoop Life. Welcome back to another episode of Checkup. Joining in with me, I got sports analyst Mike, aka Middle Tackle. Starting off, we're gonna go with the thriller of the battle in the Big Apple. The Cleveland Cavaliers made a crazy comeback after being down as much as 23 points in the third quarter to beat the New York Knicks. Heading into the game, there were a lot of tension in the building, due to LeBron's recent comments or remarks in regards to the Knicks. Should have gotten, Dennis Smith Jr. over Ntilikina in the draft. Throughout the whole game, LeBron got booed every time he touched the ball. For the first 2.5 quarters, the Knicks started off really well. They played with a lot of energy and a lot of fuel. There was a crazy altercation between Ntilikina and James in the beginning of the game. And then, Enes Kanter came in, stepped in and were like, hey, don't mess with my homie. But then, the Cavs came back strong with the third and fourth quarter, hitting a bunch of three-pointers, leading from, Kyle Korver, who started the game 0 for 5 and then scored 15 points in the fourth quarter. It was crazy, man. It was a crazy game. I feel like, Knicks ended up, being a young team, let the game slip. And, Cavs had more experienced players. They knew how to close it out.
Yeah. All I got to say is Porzingis is overrated.
What?
What did he go today? He went 7 for 21. That's 33%.
He had an off game. He had an off shooting game.
He also missed 2 crucial free throws. Do you remember that?
He did. When they were down 5, he had 2 free throws, missed both of them. The Knicks had a lot of other chances. LeBron missed 2 free throws at the end, when they were up 3.
Porzingis gave up the offensive rebound to Jeff Green.
Porzingis did give up 2 offensive rebounds. The first one was to Dwayne Wade, a couple possessions before that. The Knicks just, failed, man. I don't know if, poor shooting from Porzingis kind of affected his game towards the end. But
that's why I think Karl-Anthony Towns is better than Porzingis, because how are you going to be 7-3 and average only 7 rebounds a game? It doesn't make any sense.
Hey, but Porzingis is like a toothpick, you know what I'm saying? If he gains some pounds, he hits...
He's 7'3".
But it don't matter. He's getting pushed around. He fell like 5 times throughout the whole game. People are just yanking him down. He's just not strong, physically.
Honestly, LeBron, he came up strong today. He made those comments and he backed it up with that step back 3.
That step back 3 was pretty nasty, though. He was jawing at Porzingis. Porzingis was laughing at him. And I knew he was going to shoot that 3 because that's like his, hot spot in terms of, shooting that step back 3. He always shoots from that spot.
Enes Kanter had a good game, but just... The Knicks are the Knicks. Like I said before, they're going to always suck back to mediocrity, and that's what happened today.
Yeah, it was a tough loss for the Knicks. Overall, it was just a big game leading into, tonight's game, after, LeBron made that video of him and the teammates, riding in the NYC subway, and then the MTA Twitter account, tweeted out saying like, hey, the real king in NYC is Porzingis, but too bad Porzingis didn't show out today. When he should have, because this was kind of like a statement game, because Porzingis is a big talk, throughout the first 13, 14 games. And when the Cavs come in town to your building, you got to show up.
I also agree with what he said about picking Dennis Smith Jr. over, I'm just going to call him Frank. I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
Frank Ntilikina.
I'll call him Frank, but he was 100%. It was a shot at Phil Jackson. If you guys don't remember, Phil Jackson called his LeBron James business associates a posse, and LeBron James didn't like that. So he has now gone on beast mode every time he plays the Knicks. And today he almost got a triple-double again and proved why he's a king.
True. I kind of agree on both ends, whether, LeBron does have his posse, though. He likes to have fun, chill with all the boys. But I do agree with LeBron.
But you can't be calling it a posse.
Yeah, but,
like posse has a negative connotation.
Savage, man. He's a savage, man. But I do agree with LeBron saying I do like, Dennis Smith Jr. over, Frank Ntilikina. No offense to Frank, but, Dennis Smith Jr. is just another animal, man. He's crazy. He's a beast.
Next topic, we have James Harden on a tear. So far, the past 5 games, he's been averaging 36.8 points per game, 12 assists, 5 rebounds on 50% shooting. The Rockets are currently first place in the West. Can they keep it up? And will James Harden continue to put on these stats when Chris Paul comes back?
James Harden will continue to put up these stats probably up until Chris Paul comes back. But even if Chris Paul comes back, Harden is still going to be pretty efficient, I believe. Because, Harden always be cooking, man. He be chefing. But his last 5 games were pretty nasty, man, averaging 37 points. Harden is in his prime right now. he could pretty much do anything he wants. Someone gave him the nickname, or I don't know if someone gave it to him. I'd give him the nickname Stepdaddy when he sauced up Miles Turner. He'd be like, you know, shaking him, crossover, and into that step back. Man, James Harden's nasty right now, man.
Yeah, he's pretty nasty, and I actually think he's not going to keep it up. I think the Rockets are worse when Chris Paul comes back, because I said it before, Chris Paul needs the ball to be effective, and
True.
I think those two are going to fight over it, unless somehow Chris Paul accepts the fact, or James Harden accepts the fact that they're both going to need the ball less and play more off ball, but I don't think it's going to gel.
Both of those guys are pretty ball dominant, but I do believe that they can, you know, create shots for one another. Personally, I do think that Chris Paul would make the Rockets worse, but I believe that James Harden will still get his buckets when Chris Paul plays. Moving on to the next topic, Lonzo Ball makes history by becoming the youngest player to record a triple-double Saturday night against the Milwaukee Bucks. He notched 19 points, 11 rebounds, 13 assists, along with 3 steals and 4 blocks in the loss to the Bucks. And after the game, you know, reporters asked him, you know, what were your thoughts? Lonzo's like, you know, none of that mattered. I just wanted to win the game, but, you know, unfortunately couldn't win the game. So, you know, the triple-double doesn't matter to him.
Yeah, don't forget he also shot 3 for 5 from threes, 60%. So all you guys hating on Lonzo's ball jump shot, Lonzo's fan took a W against the Milwaukee Bucks.
I mean, I guess, but at the end of the day, they still lost. You know, speaking of Lonzo Ball, you know, he continued to struggle tonight, you know, against the Suns, you know, shooting 3 for 10, 1 for 4, only 7 points with the plus-minus of -11.
It's off day. It's off day.
It's
Everyone
off day.
has their off days.
Lonzo Ball has a lot of off days this season, man. I'm waiting for him to have some consistent games.
He's the youngest guy to ever drop a triple-double. Give him an off day.
I mean, speaking of the triple-double, man, there's a lot of other rookies who can actually break the youngest player record. Players like Dennis Smith Jr., Frank Ntilikina, Jason Tatum, Markelle Fultz, Malik Monk, De'Aaron Fox. They all can, you know, break that record too.
Looking at that group, I can only see Dennis Smith as the one breaking it, but you got to remember, LeBron's rookie year, he did not record that triple-double. It was actually his second year he recorded that triple-double. None of these players are going to have a chance because Lonzo is a GOAT.
I mean, I guess that's true. I mean, Dennis Smith Jr. was pretty close the other night. He had 22, 8, and 8. If Fultz was playing, man, he might have a chance, but, you know, something went wrong with him and his basketball career. It doesn't look too good with Fultz, man. Moving on to the last topic, as always, we have the must-see videos. Mike, would you like to go first?
Yeah, my video, you know, is about the GOAT, the guy, the sidekick, LeVar
The other
Ball.
GOAT? I thought you said Lonzo was the GOAT.
The one who bred the GOAT, okay?
Daddy GOAT?
Yeah, so he speaks anything into existence. He predicted Lonzo will go to the Lakers. He said Lonzo wouldn't lose to the Wizards, and all that have come true. He said Lonzo's going to win Rookie of the Year. He said Lonzo's going to make the playoffs. It's all going to happen. And actually, he made a prediction on a reality TV show, Ball in the Family, which I recommend everyone to watch it. And just watch what happens.
Let's take a look.
Look at these fellas. Yeah, that's heavy, and I carried it by myself. Look at y'all struggling. It's a good thing y'all ain't no burglars. Y'all couldn't steal nothing. Put that thing down on the floor till the elevator comes.
What the heck? What, Mike? What did I just watch, Mike? I'm kind of confused.
He said LiAngelo wasn't good at stealing, and LeVar's just GOAT. He just speaks anything in existence.
Oh my goodness, you're right. He said y'all can't steal anything. And what do you know? Hey, I mean, I guess he had to prove his daddy wrong, man. You're like, look, Pops, I got major hands, man. Okay, all right. My video is a funny one. Shout out to the GOAT of the Philadelphia 76ers, Joel Embiid. He taunts the Clippers after fouling out DeAndre Jordan. And he was like telling the fans, like, guess where's he's going? He going home. He going home.
So DeAndre Jordan is gone. Thanks.
Yo, Embiid was beast today. I think he had his career high, 32 points and 16 rebounds. And they beat the Clippers, who have recently just fallen off.
Man, Joel Embiid is not only a beast, he's also a clown, man. He's a troll. There was this one play he went against Willie Reed. They were going at it the whole game. And then Willie Reed, like, he was guarding Willie Reed, and then he travels. And then Willie Reed, I guess, got in his face or whatever. And then Joel Embiid was like to the ref, I was like, hey, man, watch this guy, man. He coming at me and stuff.
Joel Embiid ain't going to do anything. Just give him his Shirley Temple, and he'll just be happy.
There was also an altercation where Willie Reed kind of like took down Joel Embiid, and then they kind of wanted to fight, but, you know, obviously they're not going to fight. Someone was like, do something then, do something then. I think it was Willie Reed calling out Joel Embiid. Thank you guys for watching the episode of Check Up. Like always, we bring you more weekly news and discussions on what's going around the NBA. Let us know down in the comments below what are some of you guys' thoughts on the discussion that we had or some of the topics that we went over. Like, share, and subscribe, and we'll catch y'all in the next episode. Peace.